Greetings. We continue today with part 2 of the rising of the second beast from Revelation chapter 13. We closed yesterday looking at Revelation 16:13, where it speaks about three people. It talks about the mouth of the dragon back in Revelation 12, verse 3, the mouth of the beast in Revelation 13:1, and the mouth of the false prophet here in Revelation 13 and verse 11. Someone has distinguished them as the beast of the pit, the beast of the sea, and the beast of the earth, respectively. That's Wildvort on page 181. Now let's notice the relationship to the dragon in verse 12. And he is doing all the authoritative power of the first beast before him, and he's making the earth and the ones dwelling on her in order that they shall worship the first particular beast whose particular wound of death was healed. At a point in time, the authoritative power of the first beast, that is the Antichrist, is given to this second beast who is the false prophet. So I wish to clarify one thing here. The false prophet may be in place prior to the middle of the 7-year period, but he will not exercise his power and prominence until the death and apparent resurrection of the Antichrist. Therefore, both men derive their power from and exercise the will of the devil upon the earth. And he, that is the false prophet, is doing all the authoritative power of the first beast before him. And he, the false prophet, is making the earth and all the ones dwelling on her in order that they shall worship the first beast whose articular wound of the death of him was healed. Then notice the religious actions of the false prophet in verses 13 through 15. The great wonders of chapter 13 and verse 13 when he says, and he is making great signs in order that even he should be causing fire to be coming down out of heaven upon the earth before the men. In his tenure, the false prophet will rival the two witnesses who come in the power and spirit of Elijah upon the earth, and it's very possible this ministry occurs during their ministry. The false prophet will be able to imitate the signs given by the two witnesses, even to the point of calling fire down from heaven, which was the long-standing symbol of God's power that he allowed Elijah to demonstrate back on Mount Carmel, which will work toward the great deception in verses 14 and 15. And he is leading astray the ones dwelling upon the earth by means of the signs which was given to him to do before the beast, saying to the ones dwelling upon the earth to make an image to the beast who is having the wound of the sword, and he lived. And it was given to him to give a spirit to the image of the beast in order that even the image of the beast she may speak, and in order that she should make however many as they should not worship the image of the beast in order that they should be killed. Note the similarity to the image of Nebuchadnezzar's from the book of Daniel. Just as Nebuchadnezzar used political, economic, and legislative powers to force and enforce universal idolatrous worship on all earth's people, this false prophet of this day will use his political, economic, and legislative power to enforce capital punishment upon all who do not comply, as was done to Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah during that time. Then we'll notice the required reverence in verses 16 and 17. And he is making all, the small ones and the great ones, and the rich ones and the poor ones, and the free ones and the slave ones, in order that they should give to them a mark upon the particular right hand of them or upon their foreheads. Now this is another imitation by Satan's forces. Remember back in Revelation 7:1, God sealed his servants with a seal upon their foreheads. Here Satan has his servants marked with the mark of the name of the beast the number of his name. Notice this leads to economic enforcement of the requirement. For years now, we've seen that economic sanctions are becoming more and more the tool of coercion in world politics. And note the supreme union of church and state, where forced religious worship is enforced by economic sanction through legislative, political, and military action.